Be cool, Daddy-O. Because hell is a musical, hell is a musical. Musical hell. Stuck with Travolta and other people that you hate, but you have to do it anyway. Stuck in musical hell. With Lilz and Scott. Hello and welcome to Hell is a Musical, where the road to hell is paved with choreographed and razzmatazz intentions. I'm Scott.
And I'm Lilz.
And I'm still pissed off that we did Gigi.
Understandable. That
Makes
movie
me
is
so
hot
angry.
garbage.
Yes.
Actually, it's not even hot garbage. It's lukewarm garbage.
Yeah. Anyway, so we've moved on to something much different, much weirder, and Gino Temple's dad directed it. So we did Earth Girls Are Easy, and we're welcoming back Ashley Lauren Rogers.
Hi, happy to be back. So glad to talk about this movie.
Or do you want me to call you Ashleyna Davis?
Please do.
So, little inside joke between Ash and I is I always say she looks like Gina Davis.
For the longest time, and I will tell everyone this, I feel like my celebrity lookalike is Gina Davis.
Because
I've
Gina
been
Davis
told-
is your mother.
Yes, of course.
She taught you how to do bow and arrow archery and catch a baseball in one hand.
Yeah, you got to learn it from someone. And if you're going to learn it from someone, learn it from Gina Davis.
Did I ever tell you that story about she did that in one take in the League of Their Own catching the ball, but she broke her hand?
Jesus.
Like, she caught it, it looked so cool, and then the next day her hand was like black and blue.
God.
And they're like, we got to get her to a doctor.
But,
Well, I mean, if you're going to do it in one take, that's the take.
Yeah, you were really cool, Gina. So, what is
the ball and it was cool, right?
Can we do another take? No, we cannot.
What is everyone's relationship with Earth Girls Are Easy? Because I grew up watching this on Comedy Central.
None until today.
Until it was thrown at you like a fastball to Gina Davis's hand. Yeah, for me, same. I grew up with this movie on Comedy Central. This was one of those like formative, hey, it's Sunday, there's nothing going on. I guess we're going to watch whatever's on Comedy Central. Here's a blue Jeff Goldblum.
They always showed
Jeff
this with
Goldblum.
Transylvania. They always showed this with Transylvania 65000.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. I never sit through Transylvania 65000, but no, this one every time it was on.
Was this like?
'Cause they-
was this like Mystery Science Theater era, Comedy Central, like that
Yeah.
era of like?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it
okay.
was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because Gina Davis was married to Gerf Gerbler at this time.
I did not have cable growing up, so I had no way to see this.
Yeah, Scott and I were privileged, and we understand that. We accept it. You know what? Now we can show you what we grew up with, though.
We also had Ecto Cooler.
We did have Ecto Cooler. Did you have Ecto Cooler, Lils?
Didn't have Ecto Cooler.
Oh, I'm sorry, Lils.
What about Ninja Turtles pies?
I just had ectopic drink.
Oh, that sounds awful.
Topic drink.
No,
It
I
sounds
had
like something you take
I
when-
had Ecto Cooler. What 90s kid didn't?
I didn't have the Kool-Aid jars. I had the what were the other things for Kool-Aid? Had the chillers, but then there was another like knockoff brand, Mondo.
Mondo was one.
Oh, Mondo. I
For
liked
some-
Mondo better.
Like Mondo.
I liked the Kool-Aid better.
Mondo was going to be my guess for some
Mondo?
For some reason, Squeeze-Its popped into my head too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I remember Squeeze-Its. Squeeze-Its were gross.
Yeah, they seem disgusting.
You could
don't
only get those at like a Dollar Tree.
I remember they existed, but I don't remember them, if that makes any sense.
They had different faces on them, so they had different personalities of the things you were.
Yeah, different.
So
different
basically, the
Oh.
conceit.
Hang on, different personalities. Like
Yeah,
the colorful cast of characters of the extended Squeeze-It universe.
yeah, they had different faces. The red one was angry. The green one was kind of like chill. And then like the orange one
Has
was
a deadly secret.
like super happy, and then there was the purple one was the one that had like a sinister look, like I don't know if you've ever
Like
seen
he's
Karen
crazy
Gillan
on-
do this character on SNL, but Mandrew,
Nah.
the one with the mop top hair and the face that just looked like.
Yeah, I don't know that.
Nope, that's out of my scope. But
I will
if
send
it's
you the
purple
photo.
and evil. I mean, they're just
Orange,
courting the gays
yeah.
again.
But the conceit for these things are you rip open their head, which is the thing, and then you drink their brains. That's basically.
That's a very 90s thing, though.
Yeah.
90s, yeah.
You have to kill this thing for sustenance.
It's like, so your sister gets an easy bake oven. You can bake a bunch of jelly bugs.
You can eat bugs.
I had that.
Yeah. I know. I bet you did.
I'm like,
Can
I have
masticate vermin?
But getting back to Earth Girls Are Easy, this was the era where Jeff Goldblum was married to Gina Davis, and they made 3 movies together. They made Transylvania 65000, The Fly, and this.
I didn't know Gina Davis is in Transylvania 65000, and now I'm gonna have to go back and watch that. Okay.
She's the Elvira thing, the vampira. Yeah.
I had no idea. Okay.
Yeah, like Gina Davis is super goofy in this movie.
Yeah, Gina Davis. Okay. So I know that we're kind of just like easing into it, but I gotta tell you, Gina Davis delivers the lines in this like no one else I can imagine. Like she is just so good at this. She believes it, but also she understands what camp is.
She did win an Oscar a year later.
Like I love her. I can't imagine anyone else doing this role because she just commits to it, but she knows the camp.
Well,
this is great.
The role was written for Julie Brown because Julie Brown wrote the movie. She wrote the screenplay.
Okay, and I have to make a public apology. I have to make a public apology right now because for years, Scott and Lilz, I thought Julie Brown was played by Judy Tenuta. Why? I don't know. It's maybe a collision of the time period in my brain because she was also very big at the time, and I was just like,
is this like
Judy
a Dylan
Tenuta.
Dermot Mulrooney situation?
It's gotta be because I just literally I was like, no, and like I almost fought you when you told me it was Julie Brown. I was like, no, hold on. Like and I'm glad
I'm just gonna sit here quietly with my hands in my lap.
And I saw it was very gruesome. You broke a bottle on the table.
I did. It was honestly.
You came very close to Scott's face.
It's true. Like, look.
Wait a minute.
But you know, Scott never broke a smile the whole time. Never broke from his smile.
I just had a Paul F. Tompkins a visual on a podcast.
So I love this so much. And like,
give us a quick synopsis of what the movie is about. Just one sentence to explain what this movie is.
Aliens are horny, so they crash on Earth, and Gina Davis shaves them.
Julie Brown shaves them.
Oh, that's right. Julie Brown shaves them, but
you really don't like Julie Brown.
Removing all of her role from this. She wrote it.
Why do you hate Julie Brown, Ashley Rogers?
I don't.
She also wrote the so years later they turned this into a off-Broadway show, and she still played the role.
They did?
Oh, you don't know this?
I've done zero.
Would you like to hear the cast?
Yes, I would.
So the cast was Julie Brown in the role she plays.
Cool.
Kristen Chenoweth.
What? As the Gina Davis character?
Uh-huh.
Oh my God, I could see it.
Hunter Foster played the Gerf Gerbler. And the other two were oh my God. Roger Bart was Whiplock, and I can't remember who Zebo was, but I believe it was not Billy Porter. Who's the actor who's in theater camp?
Oh, I know. I don't know if I don't know the name, but yeah, I'm.
You'll be in a cage dancing in go-go boots. that actor. I gotta look it up now, but. Yeah, so it ran off Broadway, and it became like a cult hit. because of this movie. So this movie is a musical,
Is it?
and it isn't. It is.
I don't know if
It was inspired by another. Well, you know my rule. If there are 3 songs sung and 2 dance numbers, it's a musical. That's my rule.
Were there 2 dance? Yeah, okay, so there was I'm a Blonde.
Well, that's a musical number.
Right. But like I'm trying to think of
Then
like
she sings all the songs. She sings
yeah.
Julie Brown. Oh, there's 4 songs. So there's the Gina Davis is Horny and Sad.
Yep.
There's
Which is what I always forget. I'm like, oh yeah.
Then there is the reveal song of the aliens
Right.
that she sings. Then there's the makeover, I'm a Blonde. And then the 2 dance numbers are Zebo's dance number with
You're
I
right.
don't
And then
remember the reveal song.
the reveal song is when they're in the tubes and they're in the tanning beds.
Yeah, when they're in the totally not the Fly, because I think the Fly happened after this. I
No,
thought it was
the
the
Fly was a
happened
year
first?
before.
Okay, so then clearly a reference to the Fly.
Nathan Lee Graham was Zebo
Okay.
from Any Hoozle. And then the 3 dance numbers are Earth Girls Are Easy at the beginning with them dancing around the hologram. There's Zebo's dance, and then I consider the sex scene.
See, I never
kind
even,
of a dance.
I never even thought to count those as individual numbers for some reason.
There's songs to them, and the reason why those count.
There's so many like just sarcastic songs to it too. I guess I just never made
But
that.
it was inspired by a musical. Julie Brown wanted this to be the 80s equivalent of Singing in the Rain.
Really?
Right.
Yeah, that's why the whole dance dream sex scene with Goldblum and Gina Davis is supposed to. That's why it's all smoky, just like the
Really?
Sid Charisse.
That
Yeah,
was supposed. Oh boy.
Wow. Okay.
Julie Brown is very, very much in love with Singing in the Rain, and it kind of shows. But also, this movie was made by cocaine.
I mean, that
doesn't
shows.
surprise me.
There's cocaine on every frame of this film.
Can't say this surprises me all that much. I would also not be surprised if there were whippets involved at one point.
I mean, any time Michael McKean is in this movie, whippets were
You
probably
can be assured
involved.
that there's whippets.
Love that.
He
man.
probably provided the whippets.
Yeah.
I really wish he was doing his Lenny and Squiggy voice. Like every time you saw Gina Davis, he'd be like, "Hello, Laverne. Hello, Cheryl."
See, I keep forgetting that it's Michael McKean, and like I know that and I'm just like, yeah, okay, it's Woody. It's like, no, like I'm actually kind of amazed at how well he fits that role.
Yeah,
Because like he'll show up and he's got the long hair and we've seen him with long hair. He's done Spinal Tap, but you see him and you hear him and you're just like, who is this guy? Oh wait,
I mean,
that's
the difference is in Spinal Tap he had luxuriant long hair. Here he has daggy board short long hair.
True.
I also think this was the year he got married to Annette O'Toole. So like, imagine coming home every night to that, to Michael McKean in that gross hair, looking terrible. Oh, it's you.
Who is Annette O'Toole?
I made a good decision.
Thank you, Michael. So glad you're here. There's pudding pops in the fridge. The entire conceit of this movie is that she is about to get married to Charles Rocket, who
Yes. Hey,
honestly,
remember him?
Who we just had to remind you existed.
Yeah, he did Saturday Night Live in one of the less good seasons. He was in Hocus Pocus?
he's the dad in Hocus Pocus.
Oh, God.
He's the bad guy in Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might want to look up what happened to him because it's very sad.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay. I don't think I want to look up what happened to him.
Are you looking up, Lils?
I already know what happened to him.
I guess I'm Googling
have
this.
no jokes about that because it's not.
It's
not funny in the slightest.
It's I said it was sad. He passed
Okay.
away.
All right. Well, I'm going to stop making fun of this man because. Okay.
Yeah, it's very sad. Depression is very serious, people. But in this movie, he is playing
Horny.
the bad guy role that he would play 3 other times.
A very horny man. I assume.
Yeah, like he has
Yeah.
one line that is so upsetting where he just goes, "Yeah, I'm potent." It's like, gross. And like,
Because, yeah.
he's coming home to Gina Davis every night, and he's like, "Get away from me, Gina Davis."
Yeah,
Ugh.
sin. A sin.
Before it had to be like before it was like established out loud that the house belonged to Charles Rocket, and I just assumed it was Gina Davis's house. And the whole time up to that point, I was just thinking like, what a time to be alive in the 1980s when you could afford a house while being a manicurist.
Well, that's like in. So I was rewatching Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead.
Something I will never get to experience
Maybe there's
as
three songs in
as
it.
an impoverished millennial.
So in Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead, her mom goes away for 3 months on vacation and leaves them with enough money to pay for the house, which gets stolen. So she needs to get a job. And she gets a job that will pay for her and her 5 or 6 siblings and the mortgage.
Must be nice.
The 90s. How much is my mortgage? $5 and 6 bags of Doritos.
This is what you stole from us, boomers.
Oh, and hey, look at that. Bill Clinton's playing the saxophone on Arsenio.
He's so
That's the 90s.
He's so kooky.
Yeah, like, I agree with you. I really thought Gina Davis owned the house. Even as a kid, like, I thought it was her house.
Like, yeah, watching it now as an adult, a lot of things made more sense. And it wasn't even the adult humor. The adult humor made sense to me growing up, but a lot of the, like, exactly like, oh, okay, so she lives there. Like, honestly, when she lives there, but she doesn't own the house. It's his house. Honestly, her hair, when she got her hair done and the whole, like, changeover, for whatever reason, I was just like, is that a different person? I don't understand what's happening. And I understood that there was, like, an affair going on, but I didn't understand. It was just like, wait, so she's a different person? Does he not recognize her? Is that what? It was just
Yeah,
like, for whatever reason.
is this like a Tartuffe situation? Like,
Yeah.
this is like Moliere. It's a farce.
Yeah, so it was a lot of things that make perfect sense to a normal
Basically,
human.
the Pina Colada song played out.
Yeah.
I will say, I really am tickled by the fact that when they become human, I'll say, when Whiplock and Zebo and what was Jeff Goldblum's character's name?
Mac.
He was Mac.
Yeah.
When Mac becomes human, only Mac can like really speak English. The rest of them,
It's never established how all of a sudden he can speak English either, and
as well as he can,
and, like form sentences together.
and the other ones are like
He's
just
still,
repeating what
he's
other
still,
people
like,
say.
worlds better than like Jim Carrey and Damon Wayans are able. Like he's actually able to string thoughts together somehow.
The fact that Damon Wayans is in this movie, like he was almost in like Hollywood jail because he was on one of the seasons of SNL and he got fired because he refused to follow the rules. He got fired because he wouldn't do a scene the way Lorne Michaels asked him to do it. And he went live on air and basically just started, hamming it up, and like he basically got fired the next week. And this is the 80s, so if you get fired from a TV show, it makes news and everyone knows. So the fact that he got a movie after this is incredible. And because of this movie, we got In Living Color.
Oh.
Because he met Jim Carrey on this. Jim Carrey, him, and Keenen Ivory Wayans decided to pitch an SNL type of show to Fox.
Oh.
So if this movie didn't exist, we would not have Jim Carrey the way we know Jim Carrey. Because Jim Carrey was making bad movie after bad movie. Like, I think he did Once Bitten at this time also.
Oh, that's another one that I loved.
Yeah, on Comedy Central.
Oh, yeah.
So, Lilz, I really have to hear, what drove you crazy about this movie?
I mean, I think a more appropriate question would be what drove me sane about this movie. Everything is weird. That's the most I can say without actually legitimately going crazy myself. Everything that happens is weird, and it's perfectly fine apparently.
Did you watch it on Freebie?
Sorry?
Did you watch it on Freebie?
What's Freebie?
That's the free Amazon channel.
Oh, no, I actually watched it on Tubi.
Same diff. It had commercials in it.
Yeah, but it also kind of didn't because I've got an ad blocker.
Oh, good for you.
Nice.
Well, like for me, like the ads would come in at very inappropriate times. Like it was the scene where Jim Carrey sticks his tongue in the glass and it goes long and everyone's like and then all of a sudden
there was an ad?
yeah, then Purina dog food.
Ugh.
I watched it on YouTube, and I'm one of those horrible people that paid for YouTube once and then said, okay, I can't ever go back to watching ads. So I got a completely uncut, just start to
Did you get a
finish.
high def version? Because the version I watched was a high def transfer.
I don't know.
Did the
I watched
spaceship
it
look
on my
actually
TV.
pretty real?
No,
Did it look actually
it
pretty
never
real?
looked pretty real.
The version I saw was a 4K transfer, and they
Oh.
they cleaned it up to the point where it didn't look like it was a model.
I don't believe you.
Oh. See, that's really cool. I'll take no ads and a standard def over 4K with Purina in Jim Carrey's tongue.
The idea of Jim Carrey eating dog food does not surprise me. So
Yeah.
like
Not
way
the
you-
weirdest thing I've thought of Jim Carrey doing, honestly.
I still think that with this movie, the musical numbers just make it like you don't know if it's a fever dream or if they're actually singing or are these people going nuts.
Or all of the above.
Like it, to an extent, it kind of reminds me of Brecht. Like you got your
Where's
like
this going?
no, but like okay, because Brecht's whole thing was about alienation. His entire idea was you throw in music because music doesn't make sense. So like the idea behind musical theater is that in order when your emotions are at your highest, that's when you sing. Because if you can't say anything else with words, you have to sing it. Brecht's whole idea was, okay, I want people to I want people to engage with my work, and so to do that, I'm going to push them as far away as possible. And to me, this feels kind of in that vein where it's just like, okay, things make perfect sense. Nothing makes sense in this movie, but when it starts to make sense, suddenly you get this like fever dream of I'm a blonde. You get this like ridiculous alien sex scene dream. It just, to me, it feels like, okay, we start going in a direction, we start following a plot, and then we get this weird musical number.
And the film is directed by Julian Temple, who is Julian Temple's daughter's Juno Temple. He is a very famous director for making these very weird, avant-garde, like
Oh wow, he
guess-
directed the Great Rock and Roll Swindle. I didn't know that.
yeah, he is an insanely good out there director. He's very out there.
Wow, look at all these music videos he's directed too.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And his daughter is Keely on Ted Lasso.
Oh,
Yep. And she was in the best
Oh,
season of Fargo so
shit,
far.
He directed Mary by Scissor Sisters?
Yep.
I like that music video.
You
Damn.
can tell he is a music video director because every song felt like a music
Yeah,
video.
that's true. They are sort of
Yeah.
framed like a music video.
and I think that's why I kind of like when I talk about that idea
oh my
of creating
god.
distance, I can see that where it's like,
I'm going to need you all to shut up 1 second.
okay,
Because, breaking news, he directed Return to Innocence by Enigma. And
That's a choice.
And I simply...
wow. I think your
Head-
definition
head
of
go
breaking
boom.
news
Head go
is a
boom.
little suspect, but I'm with you. I'm with you.
How dare you?
Breaking news. This
God-
thing happened years ago.
God forbid I get excited about something for once.
See, Scott, we're not just ganging up on you.
did he do the music video for No More I Love Yous?
Doesn't look like it. No.
Oh, I was like, because that feels like a Julian Temple music video, like any Annie Lennox video at this time period, like Walking on Broken Glass.
He did do that short promo film for Blue Jean by David Bowie, where David Bowie just like it just abruptly ends, and David Bowie's like, "Wait, what's going on?"
Yeah, but Julian Temple is a very weird director.
Mm.
You can tell from the design of the aliens. Like, how is it that after they basically, I guess, wax them, because how are they not blue, yellow, and red still? Like, because like skin
Their
pigment
hair-
doesn't change.
Skin pigment doesn't change, and like presumably, if they've been shaven, shouldn't their hair be like red and yellow and blue? Because that's still like hair, you know.
Look, if we're gonna
It's the
talk
'80s.
talk,
It's the '80s. They would fit right in.
yeah, like real talk. If they had a full body wax, like, because they were covered head to toe, like they're fur, like they have fur, and A, that's not how that works. But B, if they got waxed, they would have like just the most irritated body.
Blood would be dripping. Like it would look like a murder scene.
Instead of sexy Jeff Goldblum, which is just always a mind. It's. I know he's always been sexy. It's just confusing still.
Like
So for this guy, I went with the hot surfer look. Meet Whiplash. Oh God.
He's dead.
Oh no. Oops.
Like,
Oops.
Shouldn't they look like shaved cats? They should all look like Mr. Bigglesworth.
Yeah.
I truly believe that 80s Jeff Goldblum, like I would say like 84 to 94 Jeff Goldblum was like, he looked the best. Jeff Goldblum now is like fun grandpa.
Oh yeah.
And like, you know, good on him for that, for being
Yeah,
able
like-
to just sort of seamlessly just sort of dive into that role.
Yeah, Jeff Goldblum now is
Some
like,
would say that
kids,
some would
I
say,
have some butterscotches for you.
Some would say the greatest role of his career.
Yeah,
I would say the greatest role of his career.
I still think that the greatest role of his career is, of course, Vibes. No, him and Cyndi Lauper and Peter Falk.
It's funny.
solving
It's funny
crimes
you say that.
using.
It's funny you say that because after Earth Girls Are Easy finished, when I was watching it on Tubi, it ran like maybe a couple seconds of credits and then immediately started to autoplay Vibes.
I knew it.
I don't know Vibes.
I
Vibes?
don't either. I only know that because that's what it said in the top right corner, and I had to go like, yeah.
Would you like to know what Vibes is, or do you want to keep interrupting me? See, doesn't feel good. Yeah, that's what I thought. Vibes is a
Scott, are you
movie.
gonna tell us about Vibes?
I swear to God, I will kill you.
Scott's really vibing right now.
Shut up. Anyways, they play psychics. Cyndi Lauper and him play psychics that Peter Falk uses to find treasure.
Hang on.
Hmm.
Like actual treasure, not like to find
I am no
money.
longer taking any more
It
questions.
was
Thank you.
the 80s. This is, I mean,
Once again, well, if you think about it, in the 80s, everything shorthand was.
And I'm gonna use them as my treasure map.
look,
But, I mean, the
In Weekend at
Goonies,
Bernie's,
everything was.
too.
Yeah, everything is treasure. It's like, hey, how are we going to get rich fast? Treasure.
like,
Except now,
you look at-
now this is Peter Falk. Now we've added Peter Falk to the equation.
Oh my goodness! Oh, Jeff, you're shouldn't you be reading a book to your grandchild?
I'm just asking you to point me where the X is on the map. That's where we'll
Was-
find the gold doubloons.
He
Cyndi Lauper.
he has a line
And
in the movie.
scene.
He has a line in the movie where he goes, "If I'm lying, I'm dying," and then he drops dead.
Okay, that's good.
Well,
Anyways,
I
back
gotta
to
see
this
this.
movie.
Yeah.
I love the fact that
color me embarrassed. I'm dead.
This movie is wild enough. Like,
but like Jeff Goldblum in this movie, I will say that this might be the best looking Jeff Goldblum of the 80s. Like, and he has no character development. None of the aliens do. And I really thought this movie was a lot longer as a kid. In this movie, it basically is she wants to get married. Her fiance is a total douchebag.
She doesn't want to get married.
Because he's cheating on her. And then the aliens show up. They have a wild dance party at a discotheque. I'm not calling it a nightclub. That is a discotheque.
Yeah. Nightclubs are where people go to dance and drink. Discotheques are where dance fights break out.
Yes, exactly. And then they decide to go to the beach with McKean, and then they rob a place, and then they end up in the hospital. Movie's over because she realizes she wants to go to space and be with Jeff Goldblum. And my biggest problem with this movie, not all those holes that are the movie, my biggest problem in this movie is they don't take Julie Brown with them.
I mean, my biggest problem is they don't take the cat with them.
well, Cat and Charles Rocket are going to be just fine, it seems.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's
no. As a cat,
that's a choice.
As a cat owner myself, the moment I see a cat in the movie, everything else just goes away for me, and my attention is just firmly on the cat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really wanted them to take Julie Brown with them.
I think it makes sense, though. Like, okay, I'm going to start a bunch of sentences and not finish any of them. So,
like a Mad Libs?
exactly. The movie's plot doesn't make sense, but it does. There is a, if you sit down and write it out, yes, there's a clear plot that happens, but it's not about the plot. It's about what happens. And it's not connected really, but it is, but it's not. That said, I really wanted, like, I think Julie Brown not going with them is okay because she gets to tell everyone the story now. She gets to be the person that has the knowledge.
No one's going to believe her, and she's going to end up in a mental institution.
Yeah, and I think she knows that. So she's going to tell the right people. I don't know. I see it because someone
exactly
has to be there to tell the story.
She's gonna tell Woody, and he's gonna be like, "I know, man."
Well, yeah, because she hit him with a margarita, a can of margarita.
Right.
So he saw.
The thing is, the whole, I would say, MacGuffin for Whiplock and Zebo is they want to meet a woman. And Goldblum, Mac, wants nothing to do with women. He just wants to do science. So the fact that he gets the woman does not move his plot forward. It doesn't move his storyline, and the other two don't get jack shit. Like,
I mean, I think there's an implication
for.
At the very end that both Zebo and Whiplock suddenly develop an urge for science. It's just like, wait a minute, we get it now. Mac, let's go find some science. And Mac is like, I'm a little busy. It's in the subtext.
Okay, well, who is the protagonist? Is it Mac? Because Mac doesn't necessarily need to have a huge change.
No, he's definitely not a protagonist.
Yeah. Like I think it's Gina Davis. But what is Gina Davis's character? I don't remember her name. But what is Gina Davis's change? Because I feel like she's the closest thing to a protagonist.
And she doesn't change at all.
She leaves? I guess that's something. Like, she's like, but yeah, like, I don't know. Like, this is why I had a ramble about the plot doesn't matter, but it's there, God. But it's not.
Is our antagonist the closest thing we have to a protagonist? Because he has a whole arc. Oh, God, no. Let's say Julie Brown is our protagonist, and she gets nothing in the end. I don't think there's a protagonist in this movie. I think it's like Magnolia. I think there's just like a bunch of people living in L.A. Somewhere there's Tom Cruise doing his whole speech, and then, Jason Robards is dying in the bed, but then all these aliens come.
Happens to people.
If this movie is a sister film to Magnolia, that would make the frogs falling from the sky make sense.
Just want to touch on
Just
one
saying.
quick thing, as long as we were like we briefly touched upon like extended canon for a second. Did any of you think, like I did, how incredibly funny it would have been if, in the aftermath of the film, Ted just never stopped being horny? Because like they never establish how long that little like mind-altering massage thing that Mac can do lasts. Like, what if Ted's just like forever?
I mean, because those two officers end up together, Rick Overton and
yeah, that was fun for the movie to stop and just go like,
Oh, yeah.
they're gay as a joke. That's a laugh line.
Yeah.
That's a joke that they're gay now because they were made gay.
It's so funny because that moment, like that moment was very clearly exactly like you say, Lil. It's just like a complete joke. At the same time, for a joke, it could have been a lot worse. Like it seemed like they actually like got together.
They still,
Yeah,
they
but
still-
no,
they still
his
did it.
powers.
It's still bullshit.
No,
Like,
his powers were that he just has people reveal their true feelings. That's
Why
what
did he use
he
it on-
told her.
whoa,
Why did he use it
hold
on the cat,
So Charles
then?
Rocket's true feel. Yeah, thank you. Because Charles Rocket and the cat at the end.
Well,
that
at the beginning
that
of the
was out
movie,
nowhere then.
that was gross. But at the beginning of the movie, he said, "My fish, my cat." I think, like, it's
his
more
true
of a
feelings where he wants to fuck his fish and his cat.
well. He I don't know. I don't know if he's like a Troy McClure situation here, but
I'm just saying, like, I don't know. I am not. I'm just gonna say it. I'm not on board with that specific reading, but I'm curious.
no,
Yeah.
I'm not taking him into the
Yeah.
consideration. I'm not. Charles Rocket is just a joke at the end that they do that.
Yeah.
But Max says that because she said, "Do your thing on me. It won't be real." And he goes, "No, it releases your inner desires of what you truly want." And she truly wants him. She truly wants Mac. So I think that, the police thing, I think that might have been real.
I mean, it's still kind of played for laughs in the direction
yeah, 100%.
direction of the movie.
It is.
They definitely take on a vocal affectation once they are quote unquote turned gay by Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah. That's
But at the s-
bad. That's very
Yeah.
bad.
And I think that you're right if they're specifically stating it, because the thing about the sci-fi BS in this piece is that they establish things, but also they don't care. The point is, it's just
It's
like,
an 80s
hey,
movie.
it's a thing to have fun.
Ash,
And
once again, this movie was made and written by cocaine.
I know.
And whippets.
So it's yeah, but it's
can
tough
be
because
assumed.
when they do state that, and then the end they do have Charles Rocket and the cat. It's like I don't know, guys. Like, what are you implying exactly? Don't think about it. Got it. Like,
I don't think they're thinking this movie is going to be like, a real thinker like 2001.
you mean you didn't think that you're saying that they didn't account for 3 people on a podcast talking in depth about the magical lore within the alien species of this movie?
I mean, she did just
in
a second
2024?
ago compare it to Brecht.
I did just compare it to
You
Brecht.
You did compare it to Brecht.
It's Brecht, y'all.
Oh, dear.
I'm gonna get that on a t-shirt.
Oh, heavens to Betsy.
Earth Girl Cerisi is like Brecht. Lick my butt. I don't know what to tell you.
I think I was closer with saying it's like singing in the rain, but
It's like Brecht, y'all lick my butt. Ashley Rogers, 2024.
is that your campaign run?
Yes,
Yeah. Yes, it is.
I'm answering for her. Yes.
Lilz
Okay.
is my campaign manager.
I have to go
Let
back
me
to
just
the
say, things are going great.
going back to the dance fight.
Or
Damon Wayans did-
Damon Wayans versus not Rick James.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, I was getting I thought that was Morris Day.
Oh yeah, that's sort of okay. Damon Wayans versus not Morris Day.
Yeah, not Morris Day. But Damon Wayans is doing
Little
all
bit
of his
Rick James.
he was doing all of his dance fighting. He did the flip, he did the spins.
Dang.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was really impressive. Like you can tell by the way it's shot too, because
it's actually
normally they
him.
mask it. It's like, yeah, no, like they're showing like, no, you can see his face like the entire time through any of his stunts. And yeah, no, it was really impressive.
Because like they needed him to do something, because they're like, oh, Whiplock is gonna be the goofball, and he kind of, you know, has a little arc with what's her name, with Julie Brown.
Hmm.
Zebo has nothing. Let's give him a dance. Let's give him a fun hat and a dance.
Give him a fun hat on top of his other hat.
Yeah,
Literally a hat on top of a hat.
I think that was the point.
I do not believe they were being that clever.
I think they were.
Okay.
You're not going to gang up on me this time. Oh, hell
Gang it
no.
up. I feel like we've all ganged up on each other at some point.
No one's ganged up on you. Let's go after her.
Oh man, why'd I do this to myself?
Why are you wearing that target on your back?
Okay. We're going to gang up. We're going to gang up on Ashley in 1, 2. I can't do it. She's just too delightful.
What'd I do?
Oh, fuck you.
What? I try. Okay, I'll try
Gina
again.
Davis
3,
stuff.
2. Nope, it's not doing it. I tried. It's just
Yeah.
not.
So one thing in this movie, them eating food is the grossest thing in the world. Like anytime in an 80s movie someone eats food, watching it now just makes me kind of sick to my stomach.
So not specifically them, just 80s movies in general.
Anytime someone in an 80s movie eats food, they make it look so gross. So like in Heathers,
I don't follow.
when they eat food in Heathers, the way that they shoot it and light it is disgusting. They do the same thing here. It just looks, everything looks so dusty and dirty. And maybe that's because the 80s was a very gross and grimy time. But when she's making her famous pancakes,
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that did not look appetizing in the slightest.
it
That
looks
loo-
so
That
disgusting.
looked overdone to an extreme. By which I mean
so-
it looks burnt.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was another thing in 80s movies. When someone can't cook, they just burn everything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's always the case. In fact, usually the people that can't cook don't use enough spices is the problem.
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
Sorry. I'm dying over here.
Oh.
Oh, don't do that. Please don't die.
Scott, stop dying.
Let's get into tracks.
I don't know how I'm going to be able to do this because
I go into the IMDb soundtrack list.
I'm in the IMDb soundtrack and everything is completely out of order.
Oh no.
Everything is completely out of order, and so it's the same, almost kind of on the, well, I mean, it's a little closer on the soundtrack section of Wikipedia, but most of it is all the stochastic music, like by Hall & Oates, Information Society, B-52's Depeche Mode, that sort of stuff. Oh, wow, Jesus and Mary Chain have a track on here, too. That's wild.
Now, do you like it?
I like when Depeche Mode gets to do something. That's what I like. I like seeing Information Society doing things. Doesn't necessarily have anything to do with the movie itself. What I don't know how I should approach this because like that.
I'm looking at all music.
On
Hold a
IMDb,
second.
there are so many other songs listed that I don't even fucking remember. There's a fucking was not was song in here that I didn't even know was there.
So I guess because I know Scott, you mentioned that you're going to look for some way to kind of work this out. I mean, it is an interesting thing to point out because they did release a soundtrack.
I'm
but
not
it's
reading
not...
off the IMDb page. They list the Andy Griffith theme on here. I'm not doing that. That appears in the movie for like a couple of seconds.
But it's interesting because I'm looking at the official soundtrack and there's only 2 songs that were written for like that we witnessed as musical songs, and there are more than 2, but there are only 2 that are like actually on the soundtrack, and it's just Brand New Girl and Cause I'm a Blonde.
If it's the same thing I'm looking at, then yeah, that's
that's fascinating.
Well, I mean, The Ground You Walk On was that was like the song that Gina Davis was singing when she
Yeah.
was having her
Oh,
big,
yeah.
she was having her big I'm at my emotional low moment when she finds Charles Rocket cheating on her.
Oh, one thing we didn't talk about is Angelyne, the Billboard Queen, is in this movie.
Yes. Okay. So I saw an interview with Jeff Goldblum like fairly recently talking about the movie. And he was saying like, yeah, it was a very like weird thing. She was just like she was this person, she was a billboard person. We don't know like she just has a car. So somebody called her, saw if she was busy and she showed up. It was like, what? So that's the whole reason this weird like Barbie like alien lady, and she makes perfect sense when you describe her like that, comes in and just essentially she just showed up for a shot. And
What was she the lady who gets her car like wrecked at the gas station?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
I didn't think twice about that because everything else was so fucking buck wild up to this point. I just assumed like okay, this is just B-52's the movie, and then the B-52 started playing.
But yeah, no, I think that's like it was interesting because she's just very much aesthetics, but she made sense. Like her aesthetics made perfect sense because she just seems like an alien in this space, but she's a human and she's got aesthetics that could be considered hot to a lot of people, especially in the 80s.
I'm still not sure what she actually did.
I don't know if anyone knows. She just had billboards of her in her car.
There's
that was
that
her
mini
car.
series that's on Peacock with what's her name from Shameless, Emma Rossum as Angelyne. And I don't even think they know. All right,
So is that literally all she's famous for, just being on billboards?
So I think I figured this out, Lilypad. Do you want me to take over and say the names of the tracks?
I mean, I guess. Sure.
All right. Okay. Track number 1, Earth Girls Are Easy, written by Julie Brown, Charlie Coffey, Terrence McNally, and Sterling Smith, performed by Nile Rodgers.
Of Chic.
Of Chic.
And
yes.
probably a whole bunch of other stuff. Definitely a whole bunch of other stuff.
I like this song. I think it's fun. It's got that whole Bill and Ted vibe.
Was that like the opening bit of the movie song?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, like for all the problems I had with like the movie itself, the soundtrack was pretty solid, and that's a good song.
Yeah, I think it sets up what you're about to see very well. It's a good intro piece.
Next track is Brand New Girl. Written and performed by Julie Brown.
That's the makeover scene. Oh, and
the first her makeover. It's
the
Gina Davis's
makeover.
Yeah,
scene.
that's the one that I was talking about.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and if I could just address Ashley trans to trans for 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
I assume like if this was a movie that you saw like in your child years, then this had to have been like like were you a young uncracked egg at any point looking at that scene of just like one long extended just like sit back and be made over scene? Were you watching that and thinking like I want that?
Yeah,
Because I know if I had seen that in my youth, that's what I would have thought.
I think while I was growing up, I was definitely in the push that to the back of the brain. That's not a thing. No, type of deal. But yeah, no, like it's definitely part of my trans awakening. That and I was a cosmetologist for a while. I went to Cosmo school and I worked in a hair salon for a little while. So
That's
it
where
was
you
interesting
met
to
Judy
just see-
Tenuta, right?
That's where I met Judy Tenuta, and she said, "I was in Earth Girls Are Easy. Watch me play accordion." How the hell did I think that was Judy Tenuta? What is wrong with me?
I don't. I mean, they look very similar.
Okay, thank you, Scott. Thank you for being generous.
That's why I thought it was the Dylan McDermott, Dermot Mulrooney thing, and that's why this episode is called the Dylan McDermott, Dermot Mulrooney thing.
It's probably not the Dylan McDermott, Dermot Mulrooney thing.
It will be.
Dylan McDermott and Dylan Mulrooney are easy.
Or as Jamie
Easy
Foxx
Girls
called
are
him on
earthy.
SNL, Dermot McKermit.
I'm sorry?
There was a sketch when Jamie Foxx hosted a few years ago with Bill Hader. The game show was called Dylan McDermott or Dermot Mulrooney, and Jamie Foxx and Keenan had to figure out if a photo was Dylan McDermott or Dermot Mulrooney, and he called him Dermot McKermit.
Okay.
Well, that's certainly a thing that happened.
But yeah, but like just to kind of go back to the song and the whole aesthetic, it was really fun just kind of like seeing a space like that in the 80s, because that was, like those spaces, those like salons and nail I almost said those spaces were just like such a really cool, fun femme space. And so it was just nice to kind of like see that as an adult who has gone through cosmetology, who has done nail services, who has been a hairstylist, and just like see them kind of do that and be like, oh yeah, this is definitely not what we would do today. This is interesting.
So I'm going to come to your defense right now, Ash. I am looking at a photo of Julie Brown and the photo of Judy Tenuta, and they do look very similar.
Take that, world.
So, yes.
Take that, world.
All right.
Lick my butt.
Next song, The Ground You Walk On, written by Billy Steinberg and Tom Kelly, performed by Gina Davis.
I mean, according to the soundtrack on the Earth Girls Are Easy Wikipedia page, it's performed by Jill Jones.
That was the one they released for the radio.
Oh, okay.
Who's driving this car? You wanted me to take over, I'm driving. That's it, back to Winnipeg. I'm turning this car around.
I'm turning this Judy Tenuta right around. So it's interesting because like the song itself, I think is a fine song. I like the whole like destructive energy going slowly in the movie. I don't love it though. Like I don't know what it is. There's something that pulls me away from it.
I think it's because all the songs are usually sung by Julie Brown, and when someone else is singing a song, it just feels weird.
Maybe.
This is like a whole, like when we did Burlesque, and when someone else who wasn't Christina Aguilera, when it was Cher singing, it's like, wait a minute, this is supposed to be a solo musical, one person singing.
It was also just kind of a really boring song. Like the visuals, I feel like really carried it. Otherwise, it would just be just kind of, a very generic sort of 80s ballad with like the big echoing gating snare sort of sound.
This song felt like Alone by Heart. This song felt like, how am I gonna get you alone? Like, it was a Heart song.
Also, just as a side note, don't put football in the microwave. Dude, you got that microwave. You got that football. Don't put football in no microwave.
I do love the line
never
when
the two should meet.
I love when Charles Rocket goes, "You broke my Commodore 64."
Those are supposed to be
That's
unbreakable.
an 80s line. So next track, I like 'em big and stupid. Performed by Julie Brown, written by Julie Brown, Charlie Coffey, Ray Colcord, and Terrence E. McNally.
That's a previously released song, as I understand it. Like, that was part of Julie Brown's whole sort of solo EP, I think.
Yeah, but it comes back for, Whiplock, and this is where the reveal of the aliens is.
Is that... that's what... I thought that was like when they're dancing at the club.
No.
Cause I just hang on. I could have sworn that was like happening at the club because like everyone's just like fawning over Whiplock and how like just out of place like he seems to be. Isn't that where the? Am I thinking of the wrong thing?
I think so.
Oh, here it is. I'm looking at it on the the I like 'em big and stupid Wikipedia page.
I love that that's a thing.
It was filmed for inclusion in Earth Girls Are Easy, but the sequence was ultimately removed from the movie. The scene is included in the DVD extras, though it is heard playing in the background during a scene in the film. It doesn't. It doesn't say what it doesn't say what the scene is.
I think the scene is the reveal of them.
I
Because
genuinely
you hear-
don't think that's what it is.
I feel like, I don't, because,
I
okay.
distinctly
I will
remember
admit-
it happening at like the club.
I will admit it has been a minute since I've seen it, only because I watched it. We had to move filming, and so now I'm like, I do wish I had gone back and rewatched because I don't remember, but I do remember hearing it. Like it definitely happened.
Okay.
So anyway, let's talk about the song. I like him big and stupid.
It's good.
There we go. Good stuff.
It's goofy 80s pop.
She likes him big and stupid. Today we'd call him a himbo.
Next track is 'Cause I'm a Blonde.
I know lots of people are smarter than me, but I have this philosophy. So what? 'Cause I'm a blonde, yeah. I see girls without dates, and I feel so sorry for 'em 'cause whenever I'm around, all of them ignore 'em 'cause I'm blonde.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's probably the one that everyone remembers most from this.
Yep.
Yeah. Well,
I-
Julie Brown disappears for a minute and then shows back up. So, do they actually make it to the beach, or is this in Whiplock's dream?
So this is another one that like messed me up as a kid, where I was just like, what is happening? And it is either in his dream or it is Michael McKean's description. So this song happens spontaneously because of how Michael McKean is describing this. Because I think that's what it is it's very much like he's like, hey, the babes, like you gotta see they got a blonde contest.
Julie Brown's not playing like the same character in this scene, is she? Like she's not
No.
Candy Pink here. She's a completely new character, right?
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
it seems like just someone completely just not. Sorry, I'm a
Sorry,
bit
my
thrown
cat.
because now I've just found myself in a bit of a rabbit hole looking on the Julie Brown Wikipedia page and am finding that she wrote a song called Big Clown Pants as a parody of Bad Romance.
Oh, Bongo, what have you got in your big clown pants? Bonzo, oh no, goo goo, ha, blinky, blah blah blah. I want your clown pants.
You know what?
Was
I love Julie Brown. How did I not know this?
because you thought it was Judy
I
Tenuta.
thought she was Judy Tenuta. I didn't know to look for Julie Brown.
It's Judy Tenuta. No, it's not.
I fully said to a coworker who likes this movie, "Oh, whatever happened to Judy Tenuta? I really like. She was great in this, and I was not corrected. Like a day before Scott corrected me.
I don't know what to tell you, Ash. I don't know what to tell you.
This is my burden to bear.
That is your dark passenger.
My dark passenger.
So those are the actual sung tracks. Trying to find what the Dance with a Hero or Dance with a Zero song is, but I'm not sure. I think it's
I'm not sure either.
Stuart Copeland has a song on this album. Hey, who wants to hear a song from the guy from the Police that no one remembers?
How dare you? Stuart Copeland is a fucking amazing drummer, and you better hold your fucking tongue.
No, I'm saying Stuart Copeland is the one that no one.
You're thinking of Andy Summers. No one remembers
No,
him.
I'm thinking of Stuart Copeland because I know the movie soundtracks that he did the scores for, and I'm gonna pretend like he doesn't exist because he did the score for Good Burger and Highlander 2: The Quickening.
And Spyro the Dragon. Thank you very much.
That's a video game. I'm talking about movies, dear.
Okay, I'll just go fuck myself then.
No, like he's done some really bad movies. He did Men at Work. He did the score for Lorenzo's Oil, Airborne. These aren't films we should be talking about.
But we should be talking about Spyro the Dragon.
Always.
Anyways, so yeah, those are the tracks.
That's literally it, isn't it?
That's it, because I mean, there's Cosmic Thing by the B-52s.
Hit Me by Information Society. Depeche Mode covers Route 66.
Boring cover, honestly. Love Depeche Mode.
Yeah, I would not have guessed that was Depeche Mode until like I looked it up on Wikipedia. Only to discover, like, wow, that was Depeche Mode. They have never sounded less horny.
You could do, because Angelyne is in this movie, and the song that's playing is her song "Animal Attraction" when she gets into the car accident.
She's a singer.
She has a song?
I wouldn't say she's a singer.
I
would say she
still
has
don't
a
understand
song.
what she does.
She was an influencer before influencers influenced.
She was the Billboard queen.
So she didn't do anything then.
I think this is literally the conversation people were having about her back then.
Yeah.
like, literally nothing has changed. It's just, who is she? What does she do? Okay, I know of her. Why do I know of her?
Anyways, we have a rating system on this podcast. If it's a good movie musical, it's hell of a musical. If it's a bad movie musical, it's hell is a musical. And if it's meh, it's Judy Tenuta's Razzmatazz Factory.
You had to give me that option, didn't you? So, who usually goes first?
The guest.
Okay, great.
You started talking, so I just assumed that you...
Yeah, you had to give me that option. I want desperately to take the Judy Tenuta option, but...
Well, that's usually Purgatory Pete's.
Yeah. But I have to say, this is a hell of a musical.
I'm going with Razzmatazz. I think it's just meh.
Of the options here, I think I'm inclined to say Razzmatazz. But once again, I find myself drawn to my unofficial fourth category. Hell is this musical? Because I am...
It's unofficial.
Because
it's
I
not
am,
canon.
Because I am simply just... Everything just baffles me here.
So, Ash, you want to promote anything?
It's Brecht. Lick my butt. At the moment, I don't have a lot to plug. I do have a play that you can purchase called Chasing the Ghost, and you can get that through Next Stage Press. I have a podcast with my good friend Gina Femia, who is my favorite writer of all time. They and I have been doing a podcast about playwriting. It's called The Right to Play, because if you've got a play to write, you've got the right to play.
Well, you just broke my brain. Lily Pad, you want to promote anything?
I don't have anything going on, so in lieu of that, I will promote Big Clown Pants by Julie Brown.
You mean Judy Tenuta?
Yes. Everything is correct.
I feel like I need to write Julie Brown a formal apology. Decades have I thought she was Judy Tenuta.
I'm not promoting the song. I'm promoting the existence of the song called Big Clown Pants. That's intended as a parody of Bad Romance.
I gotta go with John Mulaney and Nick Kroll for one of the Oh Hello tours said our show used to be called Eating Tuna with Judy Tenuta. So yeah, I got some other podcasts, Writer's Bagel Basket, When Scary Met Stabby, all that jazz. So, yeah, check those out. And so, Lilypad, what do we have coming up next?
Next month, we're doing Hearts Beat Loud.
This is another one. This is a palate cleanser. This is one with very limited songs sung, but it's got Nick Offerman, so I thought that I would give you a break from all of the craziness that we were doing.
Oh, wait, I think I remember seeing this poster.
Yeah, the movie's great.
I think they showed it at the Luna at one point.
They did, and I have that poster.
Oh, dope.
Yeah.
Okay, hear me out. Remake Earth Girls Are Easy. Cast Nick Offerman as the Gina Davis character.
Now I'm just...
Is Megan Mullally Mac?
You know what? Yes.
See, now I can't help but imagine Nick Offerman in all of the roles. Just
I could see
just
Nick
in the
Offerman
in the
doing,
beach scene, like the music starts playing. Because I'm a blonde, I don't have to think.
Well, anyways, remember, if your pool explodes one day and there's an alien ship in it, you're an Earth girl.
Charles Rocket was horny. I wish I...
with Lilz and Scott.
Zero science.